Military and simulation games are usually really difficult to get into. For the most part, they show a subject as it is, rather than how we would like it to be. Combat can be boring, flying planes can be complicated, and you can't hear explosions in space. Rarely, though, there are titles which manage to make accurate simulations accessible as well as fun. Kerbal Space Program is in every way a simulation game. It's also lighthearted, cartoony, and most important of all, accessible. Kerbal is pretty much about launching rockets. At this point in early beta, you can pick up a copy on Steam's Early Access selection. The sandbox part of the game is stable and fully playable. Version 0.19 has no set goals, but of course, you want to see if you can get into orbit, land on other planets, and do all that space stuff, right? Your main enemy? The laws of nature. Kerbal is at its heart a physics simulation, and if you want to get off the ground, you're going to have to get used to flight with realistic gravity, inertia, air resistance, structural instability, and my favorite, pilot error. The practically infinite ways a flight can go wrong are all personally hilarious to watch. So, past just derping around with jet fuel, the challenge of building a stable ship becomes obvious the moment you start building your first serious rocket. The building system is really easy and feels about as smooth as making your own house in the original Sims. There are a few bugs placing parts. Sometimes it won't let you put a part somewhere, and you know you can, and sometimes it'll say you can put a part somewhere, but then it won't let you. But say you try to avoid all problems. Start simple. You build a capsule attached to a single rocket. It gets off the pad alright, but it hardly gets far up before running out of fuel. Okay, so why not stick a bunch of huge engines and fuel and boosters to this bad boy and see if we can't make it out of the galaxy? Well, you'll find, as NASA did during the space race, that the more fuel you carry, the more you'll have to carry to propel that fuel forwards. Also, the more complicated a design gets, the more things can go wrong. It was at this moment, when I realized I could not just build my rocket bigger and expect to do better, that I saw that Kerbal Space Program is incredibly addictive. You start to arrange the stages of your rocket, deciding what rockets fire when, whether to have solid boosters for initial liftoff, or save them when you're further up in the atmosphere when they'll have a greater effect. Of course, you'll have to haul them up that far, which will require bigger initial stages. The planning element is cyclical, infectiously addictive, and in the most direct way possible, gives you a personal insight into the challenge NASA engineers actually faced when designing the iconic rockets we know today. Because launching your own rocket is as challenging in Kerbal as it is in real life, it gives the game an incredibly high replay value. No matter how much you work on a design, it can always be improved in some way. At this point in the beta, you can go into orbit, link your capsules together and make a space station, and land on other planets, with plans for colonies and other unspecified expansions to come. The whole concept is extremely exciting. There's so many different games focused on aspects of something cool. You can build a plane, build an airport, fly a plane, ride in a plane, plan an aeronautics business, but so far not all once at the same time. Kerbal is the kind of unified space game that sci-fi fans like me have been dreaming about for a while. And it's hard. Kerbal makes you fail, and then makes you learn from your failures to produce a better rocket. Your creativity is never limited, but certain designs are destined to failure or an endless series of revisions. Each time you step up to the landing pad with your new design, the suspense is palpable and exciting. Will this one fly? Will it crash and burn? Will it make it to orbit? Will it make it beyond? Kerbal is a multi-spectrum game that works brilliantly on all levels. It'll make you feel stupid, feel like a genius, feel like an evil genius, make you laugh and make you wince, and at the end of the day, you can say, "Today, I launched 3 googly-eyed green men to their almost certain deaths in the vacuum of space. I am complete."